everybody. It is Wednesday morning on the East Coast at 9:45 in the AM. And you know what that means? It's time for Java with Jen, Java with Jen, and friend, Java with Jen, Java with Jen. So today I'm super excited to welcome my dear friend Jill Leigh. Hello, Jill.
Hello, Jen.
She's coming to you live from Portugal, which I hope to visit finally in what am I now figuring out? May, June, something like that. I can't wait.
I'll
Can't
be
wait.
here. I'll be here.
I know you will be in your gorgeous house with your gorgeous partner's artwork behind you. But I won't see you on a
Yes,
screen. I'll see you in person at the time. But
that's right. That's right.
that's right. Before we dive in, and we're going to be talking today because Jill is an energy expert, and I want to give the formal bio for Jill. We're going to be talking about how energy, authenticity, authority kind of all move and work together. So Jill Leigh is the founder of the Energy Healing Institute. That organization offers online courses to professional practitioners who want to integrate energy healing into their client practice, and also courses for the consciously curious. I love that. Consciously curious who are interested in resources for self-healing. Jill currently focuses her energy with practitioners, therapists, coaches, and integrative health professionals who are ready to elevate their practice, increase their profitability, generate passive income, and access sustainability. That's such a awesome job that you have. Welcome, Jill, to Java with
Thank you.
Jen.
It is an awesome job. I do love my job.
And you've been doing it for a couple decades. So how long have you been in the energy world?
Okay, thanks. Because now we're going to do age, aren't we?
No, I've been
1991,
coaching
Jen.
for almost 30 years. We're good. We're good. I don't know. It's
33.
wisdom, Jill.
33 years. That's right.
It's
That's
your
right, damn
age.
it.
It's
It's
wisdom.
wisdom.
Exactly. So you and I have been having lots of conversations over the last couple of years. And, as I've been working with people and digging in with what authority means, and particularly out of the, I would say, the unconscious masculine energy of power, the power dynamic, and into what I believe is more the divine feminine of being true to yourself and living authentically and moving with authenticity. You said to me, energy has a lot to do with that. So I would
Mhm.
love to hear from you. What are the ways that what does energy have to do with authority? And then how can people leverage? I don't want to say use because I don't know, I just don't like that word, but leverage their energy to move with more authority, authenticity, and really be true to themselves for particular women in
Sure.
male dominated, male
Absolutely.
areas.
Well, energy is the sum and substance of everything. Nothing exists without energy. And when we can learn, particularly as women, to harness and use our own energy rather than using the energy of other. And
Hmm.
of course, in corporate, there's lots of pressure to go along, to get along, to do it, to do it as a female in a male world, um, running your energy in a male kind of way.
Yeah.
And yet, we all have these energy centers. And it kind of makes me laugh sometimes to talk about chakras because at the end of the day, I don't care that much about chakras. I care about tools. And chakras are just that, they're tools. They are energy centers for manifestation, for
Mm.
making things happen. And there's a couple of them that are really great for um, bringing ourselves forward in a way that is really authentic. And one of the things that I really like to work with are simple tools, things that can be done very quickly. And that as they're done quickly, they become resources that can be used in the moment or can be applied as just part of your day-to-day practice. Um, so I want to talk about a couple of tools called chakras. The first two chakras I want to talk about are the third chakra, which is right at the notch of the ribs, where your ribs come together. And the second one is right here in the center of your head. It's your
Mm.
sixth chakra. And I want to talk about the functions of them because this is where we can bring ourselves into our authority. Your sixth chakra is your idea generator. It is also the keeper of your beliefs. And that chakra, when paired with the third chakra, becomes a way of streaming energy towards your ideas, towards the things that you want to create and manifest in your experience. So the third chakra is, and I love that you said the word power and how that's such a male, you know, paradigm. The third chakra is often called a power center or a control center or a will center. And I never use those words for the third chakra because it's not to me.
Mm.
To me, the third chakra is a volition center.
It's
It
a what? Say that.
flows
Volition. Volition.
volition. It flows energy towards what you want to create.
Mm.
So when you partner the chakra here, your idea generator, with what you want to create, you are bringing your energy to that situation, whether it's a dialogue or a project or a speech, whatever, it doesn't matter. So the easiest way to do that that I know of is to imagine that you've got a chakra in the center of your head that's a tool for your ideas, and that you have a chakra right at the notch of the ribs, top of your ribs, that is a tool for actualizing energy and creating a figure eight between the two of them. Because the truth
So
of the
could I just
matter is,
visualize like a dot? If somebody doesn't know what a chakra is, can I visualize like a dot
yeah,
or something inside my head?
sure,
Or okay.
sure. It's
So
about the size of a golf ball or
okay.
smaller. And just running a figure eight between those two golf balls, and
In my
knowing that in
mind, I don't
doing
want to be out there
in your
doing
mind,
this.
nope, nope,
Okay.
you don't need to do that
Okay.
unless you want to, but there could be questions. But you just visualize it in your mind. And what it does is it aligns those two energy centers so they come together and they work on your behalf. It is so simple. And it people report things like feeling taller, that they feel connected to themselves, that they know that their energy is moving towards what they want to create, what they want to have happen. And it's a really fabulous little tool.
I love that for a couple reasons. And you've said you've like have so many gems that have popped out of your mouth. And I'm like, I'm trying to just be like present with you. But, I want to I want to back up a little bit because people may be like, Jen's got somebody woo on her Java with Jen. What's happening? And I don't consider this woo because we're all energy. It's quantum physics.
That's right.
This,
That's right.
you call it woo. Albert Einstein would differ from me, differ from me, differ. Yeah. Would
Yeah.
differ, would have a different opinion, right? It's quantum physics. It's
Yes.
thermodynamics. This is what we're speaking about.
Yes, absolutely. And in reality, I mean, I began this by saying nothing exists without energy. Jen doesn't exist, Jill doesn't exist, corporate America doesn't exist. Nothing exists without energy.
And by the way, our coffee cups are just a bunch of molecules running at such a high rate that it
Exactly.
occurs as a thing.
Exactly.
So when we're
That's right.
talking about corporate America, we're not even talking about some innocuous whatever. But I also want to go back to how people get sucked into because what we have seen through the years, what I've seen in terms of trends is it used to be people were managing other people in a very directive, top-down, authoritarian type of situation. And what I keep hammering home with my clients is it is situational leadership, and more it's manager as coach. It's manager as somebody who can listen, who can discern. And the thing I always say is if you haven't done the internal work on yourself, it's going to be really hard for you to listen and flow energy to your team. And I often speak about women leading with authority, influence, and impact. When I start digging into the word influence, it is like centuries old and used to originally mean the flow of energy into something, but they were relating it to celestial planets and beings. And so I feel like what you're giving us is this very easy tool to like ground and center myself in a meeting so that as a manager or as a leader, I can really can silence what's going on over here and hear what's going on with somebody else, or at least come from curiosity and ask questions. And
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really powerful because it actually it does help you put aside whatever the internal chatter is for sure, but it also brings you back in here so
mm,
that you're not out there trying to make it all happen. You're actually generating from within. And that's where our best stuff is, right? Is when we're aligned and we are true to ourselves and we are holding our space and are containing within ourselves our energy and not just splatting it out all over the place. That's when we do our best work because we're
yeah,
just so powerful and present.
yeah. I want to ask your guidance for those women that I work with who work on Capitol Hill, who are, and a lot of times, like I've done a lot of workshops and done a lot of talks, particularly for professional development for women that are not at the top of the food chain. They are new to their job at in Capitol Hill. They're mid-level. They're even senior level, and for them, they are at the effect of their environment 24/7. That it's
Mhm.
difficult for them to take a moment for themselves because it really is up to the member. It's up to when Congress is in session. It's up to whatever the constituent needs. And I would say that translates over into corporate too, where you feel like you don't have autonomy over your, you may have a job description, stuff you're supposed to do, right? But you don't, you're at the whim of whatever your boss needs or the team needs. Or how does a person ground and center themselves when they feel like they're at the effect of everything else? And it's
Yeah, there's a
real, you know what I mean? Like, it's real,
and
they
it's
have
real.
evidence.
Yes. Years ago, I learned an exercise, or I did an exercise with a teacher of energy. And you know that game where you put one foot in front of the other and then you stand close to somebody, you're toe to toe, and your feet are like this, and then you push with your hands to knock someone off their balance. Well, that's the image I saw, with Capitol Hill. Um, and the interesting thing was she was trying to illustrate how grounded she was. And unfortunately, I was more grounded.
Oh,
And
you're like,
so I sent her pinging across the room. So the skill that I use is I connect a grounding cord to the first chakra, which is between the ovaries, and
and
it's all
explain what a
about
grounding cord is. Yeah.
I will.
Okay, good.
Your first chakra is all about your physical body and holding your body in space and time.
Mm,
And a grounding cord is an energetic connection to the center of the earth.
mm.
So if you think about, you some people may know little grounding exercises where you do the roots of the tree and the branches in the sky. You put a stiff wind against that tree and it's going down. But you have a energetic connection that goes to the center of the earth. You're immovable. And yet you're in flow because the earth is moving, right? Everything is rotating, everything is going on. And yet at the same time, you're really present and anchored. The
Mm.
thing I love about the grounding skill is it takes a second and a half. Anyone can do it anywhere.
Just imagine in
So
your
it's
mind.
it's yeah, you just imagine in your mind that you've got this cord of energy that's driving straight down to the center of the earth.
Mm.
And oh, it's magic. And if you can take the time, perhaps not on Capitol Hill, perhaps at home before you go to work,
Or like go
to
walk out the
really,
door. Yeah.
or walk out the door, whatever, but to really be present to that exercise, there's this really cool energy that starts to flow when you and the earth are connected in that conscious way. It's
Mm.
really powerful.
That is beautiful, and it also reminds me of as you were, I'm like, wow, we do the same thing, but just from totally different perspectives. And what I mean by that is We don't do the same thing, but you get what I'm saying. I always say to my clients, when you are leading with authority, AKA authenticity, AKA you've done the work to discover who you are, you can author your own journey, because AUTH is the root of all three of those words, and it's Greek for self. You will
Mhm.
feel like you have a taproot sunk deep into the ground. So it doesn't matter what wind is blowing, nobody can knock you off of it. Now, what I hear is let's start by daily practice of sinking that taproot, that grounding cord deep into the earth. And then it's
Yeah.
almost, I can see in my mind like a lock tumbler, like, and if I'm doing
Yes,
that figure
exactly.
eight, then the things that are authentically me are more, I don't know if this is readily available or they seem more possible, I guess, is what's present for me.
Yes, exactly, and it is coming from presence. You keep picking all the right words. I have to give you, I perhaps will write you a check for something, you know? Yes. But it's a level of presence, and it's a
Mm,
level of being totally aligned within yourself, using energy as the resource.
mm.
It's really about self. It's not about the chakras. They're all lovely and everything, but they don't get me out of bed in the morning. I get me out of bed in the
That's
morning,
very,
right?
very true.
I want to be present and aligned and within myself so that I can show up in my day in a coherent and really cogent way.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, as we're about to wrap up, any last words of wisdom that you want to say that we haven't covered that you feel on your heart are really important to say?
I guess what I would say is that, we're all here to be who we are. We are not here to be anyone else, but exactly who we are. And so, whatever steps we take in a day to align within ourselves and be who we are is the medicine that we bring to the world.
Oh, beautiful. Great way to wrap it up. Thank you, Jill Lee.
You're so
Um,
welcome.
Yeah, there'll be information below how to get in contact with Jill if you're interested in hearing more, knowing more. We'll make sure that the URL for your website is down there. I just really appreciate you coming along to the neighborhood today. And that, friends, was Java with Jen, Java with Jen, Java with Jen, Java with Jen. Join me next week where we're always going live, always looking at ways to empower you as a woman in all these male saturated industries so you can lead with more authority, influence, and impact.